Hi Jason, my name is Greg Rance, and I am a volunteer on the Public Policy Committee with the Burnsville Chamber. Glad you're here. Thanks for taking a couple of minutes to tell us a little bit about your platform and why you want to be running for the U.S. House.
Absolutely.
Could you please introduce yourself and why you're running for the U.S. House of Representatives?
You bet. I'm the incumbent Republican in Minnesota's 2nd Congressional District. My name's Congressman Jason Lewis, and I'm glad to be here running to keep this economy going. We have rarely seen an economy come back with such success as we have recently. We're not growing at 2%, 3%, 3.5%, we're growing at 4%. So what do we do to make certain that those policies stay in place so we can keep labor and capital energized and keep after-tax take-home pays up 6%, more job openings than job seekers. We've got a GDP of 3.5 to 4.5, as I said. So we put in some policies that we believe had a direct impact on economic growth. And first and foremost was undoing or delayering the regulation. We did that with the record-setting 17 Congressional Review Acts, undoing about $4 billion worth of federal laws, Waters of the U.S. rule, trying to get rid of that. Dodd-Frank, we've reformed, letting community banks and credit unions start to loan money out again. And of course, we re-incentivized labor and capital with tax reform. All of that is at risk, with a lot of risky schemes on the other side if we don't stay on the straight and narrow and keep this thing going.
Thank you. Minnesota's healthcare system was profoundly impacted by the introduction of the Affordable Care Act in 2010. Between the ACA, Affordable Care Act, and the ever-increasing cost of healthcare, Minnesota individuals and companies are struggling to access affordable healthcare. If elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, what are the specific 2 actions that you would initiate first to help avert a healthcare crisis in Minnesota?
Well, there are 2 visions for healthcare. One vision is go the full Monty. The government came in on the Affordable Care Act and designed plans that everybody had to buy. You had the 1,400 rules from HHS and Kathleen Sebelius. You had price controls on underwriting. You had all of this. Now, because that's failed demonstrably, they're saying, well, let's just go for the full Monty and do Medicare for all in a single-payer government system. That's one vision. I don't subscribe to that. I want to go back and make certain that we have something like a comprehensive Minnesota invisible pool insurance that we had before the Affordable Care Act to handle the tough to insure. And we did that in our reform plan. I want to make certain that individuals get the same sort of tax treatment as corporations so they can deduct their health care costs. And most importantly, I want to make certain we go back to the individual market so that they can design the kind of health care plan that individuals want, not a one-size-fits-all mandate from Washington. You do those reforms and we'll get back to a normal healthcare market, which is issue number 1 for a lot of small businessmen and women in the 2nd District. Look, no one thinks we're better off since 2010 in the Affordable Care Act. We were told that if you like your plan, you can keep it, that premiums would go down, and that you'd have more choice. 100,000 people in one fell swoop lost their plan in Minnesota under the Affordable Care Act. Premiums have tripled, if not quadrupled, under MNsure, and half the country has one insurer on the federal exchanges. This has been a failed experiment. Why would you want to double down and go to Medicare for all? Let's get back to a market-oriented healthcare system where people can buy the plan they want, the markets can underwrite it properly, and we have a comprehensive invisible risk pool for the tough to insure. That's what I would do.
Thank you. We're hearing from many businesses that the increasing complexity of business regulations is making it necessary for them to hire additional staff to manage the compliance, reduce workforce, or consider getting out of particular lines of business altogether. If elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, what specific actions would you take to help simplify business regulations and compliance to help businesses grow and therefore help our economy thrive?
Yeah, it's key, isn't it? As I mentioned, we've already done that. The record-setting, prior to the 115th, 1 Congressional Review Act was enacted to undo an executive branch regulation. We did 17 of them, undoing about $3.7 billion worth of regulations. That's what jump-started the economy in late 2017. You had a tax reform on top of that, and now we're seeing this economic growth again. But we've got to do more, especially in the energy sector. We've got the state's largest refinery here in Rosemont, the Pine Bend Refinery. Guess where they get all their oil? Enbridge Pipeline. Let's get that built so they're more efficient, creating more energy jobs. I've co-sponsored a bill to remove the interim storage, nuclear storage at Prairie Island, the Shimkus bill. We're this far from getting that done. You do that, you get more energy. This energy renaissance, we're an energy exporter now. No one ever thought who lived through the Carter administration, that'd never be possible. We did it. So it's really key. Finally, I would say, if you get Maxine Waters as chair of the Financial Services Committee, you will have Dodd-Frank 2.0 again on small community banks, on credit unions. They'll be hamstrung with compliance costs, and that's exactly what we don't need.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you for taking the time to share your views with us today. And we're encouraging everybody to get out and vote early and on November 6th. Thanks very much.
Glad to do it. Thank you for your service.